do that, and then I pull the 2 7s up. No, because then I need to switch. I need to basically slide the 7 all the way to the front. I'm always going to be one out now. Unless, what else can I do to reverse this one? I mean, if I pull this out, then now I need to slide this along. So that's now the 3. So now I've got to swap the. I've got to put the 8 up to slide the 2 and the 5 down. So we're just making a mess of everything, aren't we? I mean, there's got to be a way of. So that's now like that. So we now need to switch the 5 and the 2, and then the 2 and the 4. No, I don't want to move the 4 that far is the problem. Right. 7, 8, I need the 3 here. And then I need to reverse the 3. I think that might be part of the problem, is trying to reverse the number. So I pull that out. So that's now right. So I need to. So if I pull those out, and now I need to break the 4 up and put the 6 in between. Well, I mean, I can just do that. And now this is in exactly the wrong position. Because I need the 4 to go there. I need the 4 over here. Wait, what if So that's there. We put that. So that's actually. So we pull the 6 4 out. So that's now the back. We put that in there just to break things up. And now I'm in the position where I need to switch 2 numbers again. I'm not sure how best to do that. The only thing that seems to work would be to then pull these out and pull that up. But the problem with that is we now have these ones over here, and we then are in a position where I've just done that. I mean, it's one of the problems is you have to do it in pairs. So, well, here's the thing is you're in the right position over here. Actually, the 5 is the one that's out of position. Now I need to switch the 2 and the 4. Okie dokie. We can work on that. Now we need to switch the 3 and the 6. Now I need to switch the 5 and the 4. And we're back where we were before. Brilliant. Let's just completely reset. So I need to work out how best to do this. Because I can only do things in pairs. I think what we need to do is break up the 4s first. And then we can work on things from that. And actually, I will then have to break up the 7s. So I've broken those up. I don't know why you have to go down to go around. You could just have lines connecting them across. Right, so we've split up the 4s. That's that goal done. We've got a 7 at the front, so we need the 8 at the we need the 8 there. Now we need the 2. So slide these along. And now I've put the 4s together again, so we're going to take those out. Next we need 3. We need the 3 here. We keep putting the 4s next to each other is the problem. Oh, there we go.
There we are. It is simplicity itself.
I wouldn't say that with the number of kind of tries we had to do to get it. What did we get? A couple of candlesticks and a key.
This key must be important to be hidden here.
These candlesticks are undoubtedly stolen.
No.
A hammer covered in blood.
Well, there's a body there that's mysteriously just appeared.
Holmes, there is someone in that hut.
I saw, Watson. Come, and keep your revolver at the ready, just in case. Open up. We're not the police. Do not be alarmed.
That's a strange way of reassuring someone.
I've got a revolver. Don't be alarmed. Armed with a Watson. I assume he's been bludgeoned to death by the hammer.
Holmes, they are children. My God, one of them is hurt.
What do you want? Don't come any closer. Are you the police?
Don't be afraid. I am a doctor. I'm going to look at your friend's wound.
Wait, Watson. I've got some questions to ask these children.
This is urgent, Holmes. In this filthy place, the risk of infection is very high, and the wound could get worse with every second lost.
The immediate danger for these children is not so much the wound as Mr. Fletcher.
Who?
Look at the wound, Watson. It's thin and precise. It was made by a sharp, well-kept blade. Any other blade, less well-kept, would have torn the tissue around it, and its size would be irregular.
So what does that imply?
In this area, who would take such great care with a blade? A butcher, of course. And the only butcher in the area is Samuel Fletcher, who at this moment is replacing a window that has been forced open. He's a man to hold grudges, as anyone around here will tell you.
The children are in danger.
A man as skillful with a knife as a butcher, and with a bad reputation to match, could easily strike a fatal blow by cutting the child's jugular. If he hasn't done it, it's surely because these little thieves broke into his shop at night to steal a piece of meat. The poor lighting in this area saved them. I can assure you that Mr. Fletcher has spent the day trying to trace these children, and if he finds them, wounds will be the least of their problems.
That's true. What do you want? Don't let the butcher find us.
How can we see? How does Holmes know how bad his arm is? Okay, so care, mediation, or afraid. This is worse than the Mass Effect dialogue options. I don't know what these mean. Is that commenting on they're afraid, or is that like you should be afraid? Let's find out. Afraid.
Justice is sometimes harsh, young man. If the police hear about this breaking and entering, they will see Mr. Fletcher's side of the story.
That's very un-Holmesian.
Don't call the police. Please, mister. We don't want to end up in prison.
I'm looking for a certain Kurtz.
I can't tell you, mister.
In that case, I must take the side of justice. You and your brother are thieves.
All right, don't call the police. Kurtz is a dangerous madman. He's called the Colonel round here. I heard he was in the Boer War in Africa. He lives in Batty Street next to the wine shop. The way he smells, he must be a good customer.
Good. Watson, see to the wound. Never mind about the police.
When was the Boer War? I thought it was later than this, but maybe I might be wrong. Left Batty Street next to the wine merchant. Okay.
We must protect these children from that butcher, Holmes.
It won't be necessary. I've had dealings with Samuel Fletcher before now. He's not the monster I've made him out to be. If he had wanted to kill them, he would have done so, even in dim light. By wounding the little thief, he wanted to warn him never to set foot in his shop again. Forget Mr. Fletcher, Watson.
You mean you lied to frighten those poor children?
That's what people do.
Exactly. Clever, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm liking this Holmes. He's like, they're trying to make him dark and edgy, and I don't think it works. But with Holmes not being a particularly dark and edgy character. Well, I say that.
Well, mister, that's a mighty fine outfit you're wearing there. You stand out like a sore thumb, and that's no lie. Watch that you don't get it all dirtied up, but you'd be welcome to come back to my place. It's not far, and I'd sponge it down for you.
Don't go back to Johnny's place. You'll get malaria.
Thank you, madam. I'm certain that you would make a very good job of it. That will not be necessary, however. But your thought was a kind one.
I'm
You'd
sure.
best be leaving now, sir.
Here, please accept this sovereign as a token of my gratitude for your concern.
Well, I never. Thank you. That's right generous of you, my lordship.
You are very welcome, madam.
Madam, he calls me. Bless my garters. What a gent.
If you're ready now, sir.
Yes, let us go.
What a remarkable man, the Prince Woodville, to talk to such a woman as though she was an equal.
Let's find Batty Street.
Yeah, I've got a sneaking suspicion he's just trying to curry favour with various people, rather than actually being interested in how people are doing. Yeah, this isn't right at all, because this would have been roughly where the kind of Wiggly Tunnel was. I think this is a bit further
Batty
forward.
Street.
And Solomonovich was to this kind of below the city, below the place. Someone rose the moated house for something bags.
A wine and liquor cellar. He must make a fortune in this area.
So that means the place we're looking for is around here somewhere then.
Closed.
Well, knock on it then. Unless it's the key.
My God, Holmes, it's appalling. And the smell. But what can have happened here?
Stay calm, Watson. Take note of every detail and be careful not to move anything.
Very well, Holmes.
And we're back. So we just had a bit of a crash. I've just had, well, I said just. This was last night for me. I got a bit annoyed. I was thinking possibly just scrapping this Let's Play entirely because none of this has come out yet. Unfortunately, it's coming out. The first episode is coming out today. So I was like, okay, I'll just try and see if I can get back here. But it seemed like the autosave caused it to crash, which is a bit of a problem. And apparently sometimes that is an issue, so that's going to be awkward in some senses. Anything else I want to say about the crash? Yeah, that should be being fixed. I'll be able to do that in editing, I think. So let's investigate this horrible murder, shall we? Well, the fire's still smouldering, which gives us a bit of insight in the fact that this is a fairly recent thing. Although, all the flies and everything implies it wasn't. So, bit of dissonance there with the evidence you're providing, game. Let's actually look at the evidence that the game's actually giving us, shall we?
A military badge of the 58th Infantry Regiment of Her Majesty, and a letter stipulating Kurtz's exclusion from the unit. He served in 1881.
At that time, the regiment served in South Africa. Kurtz was in the Boer War.
Oh, that's another thing. I had to actually play through quite a bit of it again. So, most of the session again. So I may have missed some things. I don't think I did, but it's possible. So, if I get confused, that's probably why. Along with the fact I'm easily confused.
A newspaper covering the war in South Africa. Kurtz must have been following the war with some interest.
The Boer War is abominable, and it still rages.
Right, I thought I was looking at the bottle there instead, but alright. Right. That's the flag.
An old photo. It's written to our comrade Jeremy Kurtz from Commando J. Milan, Bloemfontein, 1883.
Commando with a K.
Kurtz served as a Boer commando. He fought against his country.
I thought that was the case with the flag, personally.
The dog's bowl is empty.
Alright. Very insightful.
The dog's...
Like, you think you'd talk about this flag, but no, that's not a thing.
A torn piece of a letter.
He's dead. Colonel, I've heard that the heads of the Milan Commando do not appreciate your operating methods. Methods that they judge as being too expeditious, even cruel. We are defending our land. Our cause is wholly unjust. We need combatants who are honourable and motivated, not wealth-hungry assassins. There is no room here for opportunists like you.
It seems to be a letter of dismissal. Apparently our friend Kurtz served in both camps in South Africa and was never a colonel, but that doesn't surprise me.
A traitor, deserter, and a false colonel. What a charming gentleman.
Mercenary. Right, we'll look at the bodies once we've finished looking at everything else. I don't think there's anything else to look at around here, to be fair. Having said all that, all the dogs are dead.
What a horrible wound.
Yes.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent.
Probably the night before, potentially, with the fire still
The
smouldering.
skin was deeply torn. Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
What have we got? Right. Numerous bite wounds on the dog's legs. Okay, so we've not got anything from that yet. Bishop tore his aggressive off with his finger. Okay. So, maybe he was poisoned? Maybe that's the kind of suggestion. Oh, hello. We can leave if we want, which we don't.